Hello, hello, hello. Happy PPI Wednesday. How's everyone doing? Good morning, Sterling. Thank you for putting in the news and other numbers. Good morning, Patrick. Where else we said? I'm just trying to say good morning. It's going to be a shorter live stream again today. Sorry about that, guys. Good morning, OD Green. Good morning, Royal Palms. Remind me, Royal Palms, about EEM. There is an hourly bull flag in the 30-year futures. Good morning, Jacob. Sorry. There we go. Good morning, Ted. Good morning, John. Good morning, David. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. All right. Hey, Christoph, how you doing? All right. So the PPA numbers coming out this morning, big drop. Consensus was 0.3, down negative 0.1. Good morning, Daniel. Hope you're doing well. Negative 0.1. Core year over year, 2.8 versus 3.5. So huge drop in PPI. We'll see with CPI tomorrow. Good morning, Heinrich. We'll see how that prints tomorrow. And last month was revised lower. So we have those numbers out of the way, and the market rocketed off those numbers. Also, Oracle's insane guide. Oracle miss, but their guidance. I think everybody's seen it. I mean, it's been making the rounds on Zero Edge with their guidance projections, which are absolutely ludicrous. But it's up over 30% based off ludicrous guidance. So, almost up 33%. Microsoft up, Palantir up. All your chips are up based off Oracle's guidance with AI. So there we sit. There we sit. If you look at your technology, just up over 200 basis points already this morning. Consumer defensive and comm services are the only thing that's lower. Fed watch with the PPI numbers back up to 10% for a 50 basis point cut. I'd really be shocked if they did 50 basis points. We're smack dab in the middle, neutral mode, and 39.12 for the Schiller PE. Again, Oracle was a miss. We also had GameStop, which was a beat. Back, trying to gap up to its 200. I did not look at Chewy this morning. Sorry about that. Again, nothing after the close. Tomorrow we got Kroger before the open and Adobe after. So where do we sit? Where do we sit again? Trend's still up. Trend's still up. Yesterday was up against key resistance, retested this morning. Coming up, we've already tested the next minor harmonic area on that spike from the PPI. We had 65, 63 already spiked up there. If we take that level out, it's 65.76. And then I have to redo. Let me move these forward. Let me move these forward to the most recent. The most recent harmonic. So 65.76 to 65.79 would be the cluster, and then 66.17 up near the top of the channel line, but the channel line's still up sloping. Right now, one thing I'm looking at, there's a PPI breakout again. My key support is back at the 4-hour rotation zone. Minor support now coming in right about 65.45, 65.45. Major support coming in at 65.30. Below that, the next key area I'll be watching is right around 65.15. And then we have, if something disastrous strikes, 64.93. That's it. Other than that, just keep moving higher. Again, if you're a little more aggressive, 65.45, you can watch the top of the 1-hour rotation zone on pullbacks. Good morning, Jake. NASDAQ spiking through our 24K, essentially harmonic, right there. Next key level. Again, this was an area we already blew through this key close. So again, the all-time high is 24,068. If you take out those, the next major area or next minor area is 24,230. Next major area cluster is near a 24,4. On a pullback, On a pullback, your major area is 23,880, then 23,846, 23,850. Your minor area is coming in with the rising 1 hour rotation zone just above. I don't know why I can't click this morning. Just above 20, so about 23,950. And again, there are no short setups in sight. It would take something out of the blue at this point. Dow has been basing here, trying to break out, but this key area of resistance, again, it can't sustain anywhere above about 45,760. I'm still watching for that to turn into support. That's been very key resistance. So that's got to turn into some kind of support base before this breaks out. And if it does get through there, and it can get through 45,850, 45,950, then 46,050 are the next key harmonics. The Russell keeps getting rejected. I'm bumping up this level because we already tried to base above it yesterday. It's now 2,400 for the Russell. Already rejected there. So all I'm watching on any pullback is to see if about 2378 holds. As long as that holds, we can stay in consolidation. It's just, in order for me to go short-term bullish, we got to turn 2,400 into support. VIX, again, dropping back down. VIX just dropping. Again, still no fear in this market whatsoever. No fear in the market. Going to take something out of the blue. The DAX still basing along after breaking the trend line. Nothing new there. Still looking for rollover plays. There just haven't been many good ones. The yields going back to retest Monday's lows. This would be a lopsided double that's ugly. Again, the only thing that would make me bullish on yields for a pop would be above 4.1. Other than that, looking for continued breakdown. Hold on one second. Just got to check something. Sorry, just got an update on some things. So 4.027 if we do break down lower. Crude. Again, we had the cutter strikes yesterday by Israel. Crude popping a little, but there's a major resistance zone here. Major resistance zone. Can't, unless we break through 63.95, can't get overly bullish with this. I'm still looking for rollover plays. We sort of have a flat little channel going on here. So my breakdown is 62.70 area. Gold. It's the only thing I'm potentially keeping an eye on. A little pullback. We didn't get to the double top area yet, and we've been holding the 4-hour rotation zone really nicely. That's the only thing I'm watching for. Again, it's still long. We closed above the 62.5 yesterday, so still watching for upwards price action after trading against the harmonic area. Again, that's the only thing that would, at least from a short term, which would change my stance at least in the short term, and start watch for again pullbacks again in the short term. So that's where we sit. Gold's due for a breather though at some point. Dollar index breaking down on Monday, popping back up key resistance level, and now, funny enough, retesting it this morning. I needed, in order for me to do anything short, needed to break down below 97.20 again, because for the moment they turned back into support after a breakdown and reconfirmed this morning. So can't do anything aggressively on the short side unless we get below 97.20 again. Will be interesting to see if this takes out the other side. Spiders, gap up 653.90 above the 653.25 harmonic. Next key level is not till 657. So not much to talk about there. We finally took out those harmonics. Let me update these. Let me update this to the next major pause area, which was here, to see what we have. Again, this is a key cluster on any pullback. So, in any pullback today, this is where I'll use the prior harmonics for watching for support right around 653 to 653.25. Next minor level is 657. Next major level is 659.75. If you did drop below 653, you're looking at the high from last Friday for support, 652.21. The Qs test is 583.75, 583.32. So we're going to open above the prior all-time highs. 587.38 is the next key level. The next key level right there. So, good morning, Anissa. Thanks, Christoph, for Palladium Futures. Hold on. Is Euro USD? Yes, it's just like the dollar index is a potential. Let's take a look at the Euro USD. Sorry, I'm really tired, guys. Been getting next to zero sleep. So that's why, again, like I said with the dollar index, so we broke down this side, and if we break out the other side, this would be shake and bake on the dollar index, and for Euro's sake, it would be a shake and bake on the Euros. We're not even. We're not even at halfway of this big horizontal channel. That's the first warning sign, Christoph. We got to get below halfway, which is right around 116.60, 116.50 area. Okay? So you start watching for that. That's a warning sign that, hey, people are trapped on this breakout play. We're not there yet. But again, it's a different thing for me to be bullish on the euro. Remember, we broke out above key resistance and now retesting back below key resistance. So the euro would have to reprove itself above 117.20 for me to be looking for the long side again. Bitcoin breaking out with the PPI numbers also. Nothing's invalidated this. Remember, this is a massive weekly double top. The only thing I'm watching for in the short term for any weakness is this rising trend line. I know we had EEM. EEM, again, still nothing's changed. Since back when it closed above the 62.5, that tipped the probabilities. You're still riding the weekly rotations. Pay attention on these things like EEM. Don't worry about the daily so much. Pay attention to weekly rotation zones. And the next key target is 52.09. Nothing's changed there. Okay? Nothing's changed, and that's the major. If you just look at the chart, separate from the harmonic, just look at the chart. You have multiple dips in that area. Then you popped above it briefly and retested it with resistance. And so this is a major resistance area up there for EEM. That's still the first magnet area. Then above there, if that can be turned into support, you're at 55.19 area, which is the last key area that it topped out at. What would invalidate the 62.5 on the 4 hour for gold? Then I'll remind me what else I need to look at. I think GLSI, hold on. Gold. What would invalidate it on the 4 hour? Roughly, if you dip back down, just watch. If you get a drop below the 4 hour rotation zone on a closing basis, that won't validate it. It's getting too tight on the flip harmonics, so just use the 4 hour rotation zone. GLSI. Oof. See, this would be shifting back to neutral mode for me, and the only thing that would, here's exactly what I'd be looking if I was going to do a bullish play in GLSI, is essentially this. You're back below the two, hasn't been able to sustain anything. You don't have a major topping pattern here, but This would have to prove itself getting above this trend line, and especially above about 1165. 1165 would, on a closing basis, would be very key. Other than that, it's just bleeding down. Already hit that 50% harmonic area. If it starts closing below there, I'd start looking at this prior breakout level in about 1025. For the bull case. Is there a great bear case? No, not yet. But from a bull, oh, it's pre-market gapped up. Sorry, I didn't even see that. So that would have been what I was looking for, but it's already gapped above there. So the next key levels, the upside. The next key areas, again, we're right around just above. It's going to be interesting to see if it closes above there. But if you're looking for harmonics at this point, here's where your targets would be. 1350, then 1409, and that's a pretty key resistance area. So 1409 to 1425. MO looks really strong and has pulled back to 75% retracement. I always love trading Altair. Oh, this is just a whole, I mean, this is just a long term. It's wedged back. Really nice flag pattern here. Really nice flag pattern. I look at this on the weekly. Coming back down to the weekly. We got cycles at the top, so could this keep channeling, correcting? Yeah. But, you know, anywhere in here for looking for things for short term, again, the only thing is cycles at the top. Other than that, it's getting back above this channel in the short term. All right, let's just peek at the S&P. I think I did everything here. Let's look at Oracle. The insanity that is everybody. I mean, that's absolutely, yeah, miss on earnings. Insane, but they put out insane guidance. It's like, all right, we'll see. That's all I'm going to say, but I'd be looking for this to roll. I'd be looking for a topping pattern potentially over the next few days for at least a partial gap fill, because this is lunacy. All right, with that, let's just peek at Tesla. Not much to talk about there. Broadcom, which is going to get bid up today based off the Oracle stuff, so will NVIDIA. Yes, you still do have the potential. This could, if it rotates back up once more, turns into a triple top. So then this would be off the table, and I'd stop looking for it in the short term. All right, sorry about that. Got to cut it shorter again today. I will talk to everyone again tomorrow for your CPI numbers. Have a wonderful trading day. Bye for now.